Hello everyone, greetings from me. I'm Divya Lakshmi. Today we are going to see a story written by A.J. Cronin. But before I reveal the title, I just want to say a very few information about the title. Yes, the very first one is actually A.J. Cronin wrote this particular story on memoir after visiting Verona. The second information is this particular story's name is inspired by a very popular Shakespeare's play. You heard it right. Yes, he has taken the legendary Shakespeare's play title and wrote it as a small story. Yes, the title is The Two Gentlemen of Verona. The main idea of the author is to underline the virtues that make a man a man. The story captures the sentiment that the true humanity is about letting go and it is about courage and determination. The Two Gentlemen of Verona. Yes, in this story, there are two boys named Nicola and Jacob who are far mature than their age and show the gentleman qualities of hard work, sense of responsibility, willing to work, and most importantly, the selfless deeds. They are not men, but their qualities gave them the name the Two Gentlemen of Verona. In this story, the two boys do all the odd jobs and live a very hard life themselves just to sustain and treat their elder sister, Lucia, who is suffering from spine tuberculosis. A.J. Cronin's portrayal of these modern gentlemen of Verona redefines the concept of what it means to be a gentleman. So without making any further delay, let's start with the PowerPoint presentation about The Two Gentlemen of Verona by A.J. Cronin. So here is your first slide. The first slide is all about the author's introduction. This is how A.J. Cronin looks like. And his full name is Archibald Joseph Cronin, and his date of birth 19 July 1896, and he died at 6th of January 1981. He is a Scottish physician and also a novelist. His best known works are Hayter's Castle, The Stars Look Down, The Citadel, The Keys of the Kingdom, and The Green Years, of all which were adapted to films. He also created the Dr. Finlay character, the hero of a series of stories that served as the basis for the popular BBC television and radio series entitled Dr. Finlay's Casebook. Yes, and in this particular story, he has very well carved the idea of selfless help and explained the importance of relationships. Your next slide. This is about the story. The theme goes like this: sacrificing for love, strength of the character, and this particular story focused on solution rather than just the problem, and how this particular problem solving helps one to overcome all the challenges of life, and the selfless action brings a new nobility to human life and greater hope for human society. And the message: the sacrifice that they have done for their sister, integrity and devotion form great strength to the characters in the story. These qualities are inspirational and can influence others. Your next slide is about the characters. As I have already said, there are three characters. There are three main characters. One is Nicola, Jacob, and Lucia. And in the forthcoming slides you will get to know the other characters as well. Yes, here the first character is Nicola. He's of 13 years old. He's a very loving, caring, responsible and innocent character. He's a diligent worker, takes care of his brothers and ailing sister with motherly affection, lets younger brother sleep while he sells newspaper, and never indulges in self-pity despite of poverty. With his rebellious spirit, he faces life stoically, works with great sense of devotion with one mission, that is to cure their elder sister Lucia, who is suffering from tuberculosis of spine. Yes, here goes the next slide. And next slide is all about Jacob and the narrator. So Jacob, he is the younger of the two brothers. He is of 12 years old, full of life, innocent. He carries an air of seriousness that is, even beyond of his years. Works with equal diligence as that of Nicola, shares responsibilities and common interests to cure elder sister with Nicola. So these are the, even they were very small, they have carried a keen interest towards to cure their sister, and they are very serious even beyond their years, because the elder one is of 13 years old and here the younger is 12 years old. To their age, they are not supposed to suffer like this, but still they are suffering. So let's see what the narrator, how his character is. He is a very keen, observant, sensitive. He relates to others' joys and sorrows, which means he is a very, very sensitive person who can relate himself with others as well. And the fourth point is he is a very considerate and kind-hearted person, a thorough gentleman, wants to help the two kids but does not want to hurt their self-esteem. Here I want you people to note it down and keep a very keen eye on the word self-esteem. This is the story all about. Admires the courage and determination of the two orphaned kids. Here, why they are called as the orphaned? Because they don't have their father or mother. Because the mother have died years before they grew up, and their father have died in a war. And the last point, despite knowing the truth about Lucia, he resists himself from intruding. Intruding means interrupting into the privacy of Nicola and Jacob, because he never wanted to hurt their self-esteem. So let's go with the next slide. The next slide is about Lucia. Lucia is the sister, as I have said. She is the elder sister of the two brothers. She was suffering from spine tuberculosis, and the one and only family of Jacob and Nicola. Yes. And then the last character is Luigi. Luigi is the car driver, and in the beginning of the story, he stops the author from buying the wild strawberries. Yes. So you might even have a confusion like why we want to learn about the characters. As far as English is concerned, when you understand the characters, it will be easier for you to go ahead with the stories. You will understand the stories even in a very deeper manner. So that is the reason behind bringing on all the characters and explaining them first, explaining about the author first, and already I have said the outline of the story. So in the forthcoming slides you might understand the whole story even in a very deeper manner. Yes, without making any further delay, let's start with the brief summary. I have divided the summary into 10 parts. Okay, the very first one is, I'm not going to read the exact wordings of this PowerPoint presentation. I'm just going to give the gist of each point. The very first point carries the details about where did the narrator met the boys and what were they doing at that time, and what were they selling. Okay, in the first point you can see the highlighted words. The narrator was driving down to the foothills of the Alps That is the place where he went, and there he first met the two little boys. They were selling wild strawberries, and as while explaining the character of Luigi, I told that the driver forbade the narrator from buying the fruits from the two little boys. So that is what given in the lines, and you just see the last three lines. You can very well see this particular scene emphasized on the first step of growing intimacy. Intimacy means closeness between the narrator and the two little boys. So have it in your mind, when the narrator met the boys for the first time, they were selling wild strawberries. Okay, this is your second point and the second slide of the summary. The next day, when he came out from the hotel, he found the two little boys were shining the shoes in the public square. So the first day they were selling strawberries, the second day they are shining the shoes. So he got a kind of different questions in his mind. Okay, the little boys were selling fruits. I thought that is their job, but today they are shining shoes. So why they are earning so much money? So that kind of question was there in his mind, and here is when they revealed the fact that they do numerous kinds of jobs to earn money. So here comes the question again: what are they doing with these much of money? And the third point, so this particular place, when the kids confronted that they are doing numerous kinds of jobs, developed a soft corner in the heart of the narrator. So he finds them to be innocent, serious, pleasant, and earnest. This is very important. These terms are quite sweet and pleasantry to hear it. So it will definitely enhance your essay. So kindly note it down. All the highlighted words are important in this summary. Next, your fourth point. The boys were very useful because they know the place of Verona, what is there, what is so tourist spots, what is very important, and kind of historical monuments, where are they. Those details have been known by the little boys. So the little boys were very helpful. They were selling newspapers in the next day. So now again, there was a storm in the mind of the narrator, because he wants to know what the kids are doing exactly. So the narrator asked if he could help them in any way. Immediately the younger one amongst those two boys have said, okay sir, you don't do us any favor, just drop us in Poleta, which is the nearby village. The author, even then that particular place has not come on his way, he took them there. Once the boys reached that particular place, they immediately got on from the car, and they asked the author to wait in the nearby cafe, and they have said that they will come within an hour. So now the curiosity developed a bit, not a bit, even worse. He's getting what is there in that building. So eagerness led the narrator to follow the little boys up to a place which was actually a hospital. So here we are close to the conclusion, the climax of the story, that the boys were doing numerous jobs and they don't want any help. They asked just this help of dropping them in the city Poleta, and now they have reached a building that is actually a hospital. So the curiosity couldn't resist himself. So on peeping through the room led by a nurse, he realized that the two little boys were talking to a girl who resembled him, who was looked exactly like the little brothers. He did not feel like intruding. Intruding means interrupting them. Thus asked the nurse the details about the little boys. So the nurse, what she had said is a heart-rending story, that their father has been killed in a war, and their mother has already died, and their sister is suffering from tuberculosis of spine. So the brothers lived in a shelter and literally starved only so that they could pay for their sister's treatment. So this was the climax scene. So the author was, completely devastated by hearing their story and realized that these two little boys are, earning so much, starving so much just for their sister. And now, at last, what he felt is this. Them keeping a secret and helping their sister showed that war had not shaken their spirit, though war has taken their father, family, luxury from them. Their spirit was not shaken. They were noble and gentle and great human beings in their own special way, yet subtle way. They were very calm, quiet. They did not feel that despair, and they just remain incredibly positive even in their worst situation. So that's what the story all about, and the author was also considering, though the children were very little, they have did all the jobs as a gentleman do in his life. So this story distinctly talks about how true the amplification says all that glitters is not gold, which mean whatever you see is not exactly what is shown. It is more in depth than that. So in turn explaining the fact that appearances are deceptive. So that's all for today. Thank you so much and have a great day.